Sonic Frontiers is dog and I'm here to tell you why. So, you know what? Let's just go straight into it, right? First thing I want to talk about, the movement. Now, this is actually one of the only good things in this game. It all flows together quite well, even though the terrain isn't the best for it, and the random, the random rails and just all of this, the stuff that doesn't match the environment is awful. It somehow flows together quite well. This flows quite well with what I want to talk about next, which is the combat, which is it's obviously not ever going to be as good as Unleashed, but that's never going to happen ever again. Yeah, combat, I can appreciate it to anything. Yeah, skill tree. The skill tree's alright. It's again not as good as Unleashed, but it's in the game. I just don't think it's as fun as Unleashed. That was built around that. Like the whole game is built around that. And I feel like there's a lot more care put into Unleashed combat than this. This was just, it feels like an afterthought to give everyone something to do in this bland open world, which has nothing to do other than fight great enemies. It's whatever. Next point, we're speeding through this, because I'm dying to tell people how shit the game is. The bosses, they're another one of the only good things in this whole game. The expertly designed things, and they're actually really fun. It's just the right amount of challenge. Like some of them I couldn't figure out when I was doing it, but I think that's the sign of a good boss fight. There's some challenge there. Moving on to the music. The only good music in this game is the boss music, and only the first three. The rest is just absolutely terrible. Even the island music, it's the most boring I've ever heard. I don't know why. It's like, look, you can barely even hear it. You can barely even tell what's going on. It's just so boring. So it's not. I don't think it's the best choice for a Sonic game. And people will go, oh well, what music defines being in a Sonic game? Because there's so many different styles, that we've had over the years, and I get that, but this is just not it. And people will defend it because it's Sonic, but people need to actually start saying okay, this is actually bad, and not just praising it because it's Sonic. And I know people have got opinions, but come on, if you really cared about this franchise, you would not be accepting stuff like this. I'm sorry, it's just how it is. I don't like calling people fake fans, but come on, it gets to a certain point and you've just got to be like, yeah, it's pretty bad. Next, the thing that annoys me most about this whole game is the environments. Now, look how boring this is. It's just grey. It's all grey. There's nothing interesting to look at. Oh, there's a waterfall, and there's a bridge that doesn't match the environment. And look, oh, there's some flowers on the floor, but come on. Compare this to the Chow Garden, or anything from Sonic Colors, anything from Sonic Rush, any other Sonic game. You know what, even Secret Rings and the Black Knight had amazing levels, and they just looked so cool, and it was fun to traverse. Heroes, another one with amazing environmental design, but this is just not it. Look how boring it is. It's just a blur. It's all grey. It's just it all meshes into one. It's so ugly. It's just not. It's not what we should be running through in a Sonic game. It should be bright. It should be colourful. It should be pretty. It should make you want to look at it and want to play the game. Like Sonic CD has some of the best looking stages in any game ever, and that was, you know, back in the 90s, and we got this just boring open world Zelda copy, just slop, and people eat it up. I don't get it. But you know, it is what it is. People like mid. I was gonna say it's okay, but you know, it's not. I want to have an interest in the Sonic game again. Another thing is the models. All of the character models in this game stink, and I don't know if you noticed, but I'm using a mod to have the Unleashed model, because I genuinely cannot stand looking at the Frontiers model. It is just so disgusting. It's the ugliest Sonic model of all time. The short quills just are not it. It's so ugly, and it's not Sonic. Another thing that's not Sonic, the voice direction in this game. The voice acting is, from everyone except maybe Tails, is absolutely disgusting. And I know it's supposed to be a more serious game or whatever for some reason, but that's no excuse for voice acting. Roger already wasn't the best Sonic voice. He's the worst Sonic voice in my opinion. But come on, it does not excuse this. Like, it's just so bad. I think other than Sonic, Knuckles has been done the worst, because that is just not what Knuckles sounds like, and it's just not what he ever should sound like. Even Amy just sounds disgusting. She sounds like a 40-year-old woman, and it's just not. It's not what it should be. It really isn't. And I know I keep saying, oh, it's just not it, but it's just not. It's just, this game is so painfully made. Well, not even made. It's bad. It's a bad game. There's nothing to do. It's so boring to look at. The story's just boring. I still don't know what the story is of this game, because I just don't care to like pay attention to it. I know it's about the Chaos people or whatever, and Eggman's got a daughter, but honestly, no one cares. Like, it's too boring to care about. Like, just I don't understand how people can praise this game and how Sonic Team was like, yeah, this will be fine. After the dog we've released in the last few years, people will eat this up. But they do, for some reason, and I don't get it. It's not a Sonic game. It's not a Sonic game for Sonic fans. It's a Sonic game for casuals who've played Breath of the Wild once and go, oh, you know, that was good. I want every game to be like this, and it's just not how it should be. If this game had like the same style as Sonic Adventure 2, or like, you know, Sonic Adventure 1, give us a nice beach, like, you know, a nice, like, just anything nice to look at, any interesting environment to look at, and it would be okay to play. It would be more fun to play. Like, look, I'm running in circles, doing nothing. I don't know what the I'm supposed to be doing. It's just so bad. But yeah, people eat this shit up for some reason. And you know, I'm honestly struggling to voice my opinion about this game, because it's so boring. There's nothing to talk about with it. It's been 10 minutes, I've said everything I need to say about it. I'm just running around in circles rambling now about how it's not it, but it really isn't. And I wish Sonic fans would just admit that it's bad and admit that it's not fun. Because if you can have fun with this, I'm sorry, but you must actually be lobotomized. You must have no brain power whatsoever. I'm running in circles constantly with nothing to do. There is literally not a single thing to do. Like, I just don't... I don't see the appeal at all of anything in this game. It's just so boring. Like, look, I'm gonna hit the timer. I'm gonna have to do a challenge, and it's just boring. I keep saying it's boring. That's the only thing I can say about this game, is it's boring. And I honestly think people liking this game is going to be detrimental to the series, because like imagine this game with like the same style as Unleashed. Like, there was actually stuff to do, like running around Greece or running around China in an open zone. It would be insane. But no, we just have bland Unreal Engine of just like what? And then this kills the flow of the game when you've got to stop every 2 seconds when you do a thing. The map opens up, it shows you what else to do. You go and do the thing on the map that it just showed you to do, and you repeat that for like 30 hours with some really cool boss fights in between. That's the only thing keeping the flow of this game going, is wanting to get to the next boss and wanting to hear the song. But after that, there's just nothing here. Like, look at this map. There's all. There is literally nothing here. Just water and like, what? And this is what people want from Sonic. Like, the most stylized, fun game ever. Like, again, take Unleashed for example. That was realism, but that was still had like the Sonic flair. Like, everything was over exaggerated, all the environment like fit together. It wasn't just random black boxes and purple ramps and just scattered around everywhere. It was all cohesive and it all meshed together. This is just so random everywhere, and it's just it's not interesting to play. Like, I know I'm repeating myself now, but I'm trying to explain in as many ways as possible why this is just boring. And look, I'm gonna go and do this, and it's just gonna be the same thing. Like, after I do this, look, one of the puzzles where you've got to, like, holy shit, that was riveting. That was so interesting. Like, come on, man, really? And I know it's the first island of the game, but come on. It's just, I don't want to be doing Persona 5 palace puzzles in a Sonic game. I want to run fast. I want to hit robots, and I want to listen to some nice funky fresh music while I'm doing it. And I know there's the option for music here, and whenever I play this game, I have to turn any other music track on to make the game interesting. Like, look, this is already way more fun with the music. Oh, and it's gone because I ran into some Pokemon. Like, it's just, I don't understand the appeal of this at all. Like, what am I doing here? Run up the arm and do what? Like, how is this fun to anyone? Seriously, I want to know how this is fun to anyone. If you want to drop in the comments how you think this game is good, please enlighten what made it fun for you. And you know, most of the people that like this game are all new fans, because, like I said, this is made to get people into the series, not to please people who've been die-hard fans of the series since they were 2 years old, like me. Like, I was playing Sonic Rush on my DS when I was 2, and people are gonna call bull on that, but it's whatever. I don't need you to believe anything. But that's what this, like, Sonic should be. That was good music, good level design, good challenge, with good bosses. This is just good movement, good bosses, and everything else in between is so painfully bad that it's just so miserable to play through. And you know, I hope one day new Sonic fans can experience what we experienced back in the day with games like Rush, Unleashed, you know, even Colors. Colors was like, you know, people didn't like Colors, but like, look at this. This is not fun. This is just the controls are so finicky here. I cannot get up. Oh, but look, I can cheese it. Like, what the f is that? Come on. That is not good game design. It's just slop. It is just slop. And people eat it up every time. But you know, I can tell I'm rambling now, so I'm just gonna go over everything one more time, like cohesively, and then, you know, I'll finish up. So movement, good. Feels nice to run around sometimes for like 5 minutes and then you get bored. Combat, not as good as Unleashed, but I appreciate the attempt. Bosses, amazing. It's the best part of the game by far. Really fun, really well designed. Music, apart from the 3 boss themes, the first 3, the music's terrible. The worst in the series by far. Environments, like, at the worst in the series again. It's just so boring, it's so uninteresting. There's nothing going on. The models, again, worst in the series. Everyone just looks like a mascot in a suit. People said that about 06. 06 had motion and movement, like, in the characters, and it was just the faces that didn't move. But, you know, it's got charm to it. 06 had charm. It was funny to look at. It, like, you could... People like the cutscenes in 06 were funny. This is just so bland and boring, and it's too serious, and it doesn't fit the tone of Sonic at all. And then, again, the voice acting. Just, I don't know what the f*** they were doing in the studio. But, you know, Roger is already the worst Sonic voice, and they made him sound like a 50-year-old man. It's just not. It really isn't it. Amy as well sounds like she's about 40. It's just not how she... Oh, and this boss is back again. Like, what is going on? And Knuckles again just sounds so off. He sounds like he's been smoking his whole life. And Tails is probably the only one that feels unchanged, really, which is crazy. That Tails is probably the best character in this game somehow. The gameplay is not, but you know. But yeah, that about sums up my thoughts on Sonic Frontiers. Let me know if you like this game in the comments. Tell me what game you don't like in the series. You know, I want to see what everyone's saying. And that's all from me. See ya.